News at 5 starts now.
Thanks for joining us. Two major breaking stories we are following right now. A woman and young girl found murdered in a home in Chesterfield County.
That's at the top of the screen there. On the bottom, a big accident shutting down I-295 in Hanover County. And we have 8 News crews at both scenes right now. Let's begin with 8 News reporter Matthew McClellan, who's on the scene of that double murder in Chesterfield. Matthew?
Yeah, Juan, a tragic scene here at Farintosh Court where just moments ago we saw a woman running toward this yellow house yelling out, my sister, before police had to restrain her. Now at around 12 this afternoon, officers arrived at the house for a welfare check, and when they got there and checked the home, police found 2 victims, a woman and young girl, dead inside. Now this is being investigated as a double murder, although police have not released details of how they died. Neighbors say they are shocked something like this would happen where they live.
This is outrageous. I mean, this is something that you don't expect to see in a neighborhood like this, because I've been here, one of the 3rd houses that's built here, and we haven't had any problems.
The identities of those 2 victims have not been released at this time. Anyone with information in regard to the suspect is asked to call Chesterfield County Police or Crime Solvers. Reporting live in Chesterfield, Matthew McClellan, 8 News.
We want to get back to that other breaking news as well. 8 News reporter Claudia Rupsich live in Hanover County.
All right, Claudia, tell us what's going on there this evening.
Good evening. We have been able to confirm with Virginia State Police officials that this is a fatal car accident that happened on 295 southbound earlier this afternoon, and it has created just a mess. Several traffic backups in this area. Right now we're standing off 301, very close to mile marker 41, the ramp from 295. And behind me is the ramp to get there, and it has actually been closed because they have been redirecting traffic from that car accident. You can see several police officers have been at every intersection since the accident, directing traffic. Right now things are looking a lot better than they were just an hour ago. My photographer and I rode around and weren't able to actually get to the scene because the ramp was closed, but we did get some footage from the Atlee overpass of the wreck. You can see several miles of backup caused as a result of the car accident. There were several police officers on the scene. Right now we are waiting to hear from Virginia State Police officials to get some more details about the actual car accident. Right now we do not know how many vehicles were involved, how many people, if more than one was killed, who else was involved, if there were any more injuries or anything like that. But we have been told that they were going to meet with us soon after 5 o'clock and give us some updates. Of course, as soon as we learn any new information, we'll bring those updates to you. Reporting live in Hanover, I'm Claudia Rupsich. Back to you, Juan.
All right, thanks very much, Claudia. Let's take a look now at some alternate routes you can use as the situation on I-295 continues to block traffic through this Friday rush hour. Now, 295 is closed near mile marker 41. That's near the Chamberlain exit. To get around the area, here's the simplest route. Take I-95 south to Chamberlain Avenue south, then Laburnum east over to 360 east. Of course, we'll keep you posted on conditions there, here on air and online.
Talking about those road conditions, also weather conditions, storms moving through the area right now. Lightning was so severe in Henrico that Hermitage High School students were held in school late. They were released just a little bit ago. But John, you're in the Weather Center tracking that weather that we could see in the area this evening.
And that's the cluster of storms that blew up over in Powhatan and have drifted off to the northeast. Actually, kind of rebuild themselves off to the northeast. You notice no lightning strikes except for one near Flat Rock right now. Most of the action is here to the west, Ashland, west of US 1, between basically Staples Mill Road, US 33, and Brook Road, which is US 1, in the area around Farrington, over to Ashland, so we're just to the south of Patrick Henry High School. This is building off towards the north, but there also are some downpours, as you can see right now. 64, as we head over towards the Staples Mill area, where you have the intersection there over by what at one time was actually the Circuit City headquarters, and that extends down Monument to just a little bit of a light rain shower over the Greek Festival right now.
Thank you, John. Remember, you can take the weather team with you on the go wherever you go when you download the 8 News Storm Tracker app. Get your instant weather alerts and live radar absolutely free right now at the App Store or Google Play.
A change in times is prompting a change in how Ashland firefighters do their job.
This summer, the Ashland Volunteer Fire Company will employ paid firefighters for the very first time in its 125-year history. And 8 News reporter Kristen Smith has the story.
Ben Knuckles has been a volunteer firefighter for more than 20 years.
I like doing it because it helps the people around me. You know, I like being able to help the citizens and everything.
But finding people like him willing to volunteer at Hanover Station 1 gets more difficult every year. The job pays nothing and requires serious commitment, including 400 hours of training.
I don't know if it's because of the economy or people have a job, they have to pay their bills, but it's become more of a challenge for many volunteers, and it's affected this station as well.
Some days there aren't enough names on the board to even operate an engine, so other firehouses have to cover, which means longer response times. That's why Hanover County budgeted to add 4 paid firefighters to Station 1. They start July 1st.
It's more continuity in coverage and service delivery, consistency in service delivery. It may mean that a company doesn't have to come from a further distance to be able to provide service. It helps with response times and things like that.
It has to be done. The citizens need the coverage. So I think like I said, I think it'll be a good thing for the citizens to make sure that they have coverage.
While the volunteer firefighters admit they can use the help, this will still be a transition for them. They've served the community as volunteers for 125 years. But whether they take home a paycheck or not, all of the firefighters undergo the same training. Live in the newsroom, Kristen Smith, 8 News.
Thank you, Kristen. New information now on a suspect in a police chase yesterday in Prince George County, now facing charges. Ronald White, who you see here, is charged with assault on a police officer, eluding police, reckless driving, and other charges. According to state police, White drove his tractor trailer away from an inspection at a truck stop, then took off in another car he'd had parked there. The chase ended with White crashing that car head-on into a police cruiser. He'll appear in court next on Monday. Shackled, as you can see, and wearing an orange jumpsuit, today former New Orleans Saints football player Darren Sharper pleaded guilty to 3 federal counts related to distributing drugs with the intent to commit rape. He's been charged with drugging and assaulting women in 4 states. Under a plea agreement outlined today in New Orleans, Sharper will serve 9 years in prison. A judge could decide whether to accept that plea agreement by August 20th.
A Texas man who pleaded guilty to scaling a White House fence and dashing into the executive mansion has now also pleaded guilty to 2 felony counts following a high-speed chase here in the Commonwealth last July. 43-year-old Omar Gonzalez was given a 15-year suspended sentence in Wythe County Circuit Court to possessing a sawed-off shotgun and eluding police during a July 2014 police chase on Interstate 81. In D.C., police are still searching for the person who shot into a moving SUV on I-295, killing the driver and injuring a passenger. Chief Kathy Lanier says that it appears the gunman followed the SUV onto the highway from Virginia. The freeway was closed for several hours while the shooting was investigated. A little farther north in Baltimore, protests planned at former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley's announcement of a possible presidential bid this Saturday. Organizers say police brutality flourished under O'Malley's zero-tolerance law enforcement policies during his 7 years as mayor. They linked the death of Freddie Gray, who suffered a fatal injury while in police custody, to O'Malley's policies. In response, O'Malley has said that Baltimore is now safer than it was in 1999 when he was elected mayor.
Here at home, VCU police are warning you once again, perhaps for a last time, about traffic from high school graduations this weekend at the Siegel Center on Broad Street. Both VCU and Richmond police will increase patrols to keep things moving as thousands graduate there at the Siegel Center this weekend. Guests are encouraged to arrive early to find parking. There are decks on both West Broad Street and Bow Street.
Some good news here. We now know the winner of Logo Mania. It's the Richmond Flying Squirrels. Good job. Yay. Logo Mania is a fan vote held by Baseball America to decide who has the best logo in minor league baseball. RVA, you answered the call, and Nutsy took home the top honors.
We beat the Shuckers. They're horrible.
The Biloxi Shuckers, of course. So congratulations to the Flying Squirrels. I love Nutsy. And up next here at 5, Donald Trump says he's going to be making a major announcement. We'll have a hint for you after the break.
And days after FIFA executives are charged with corruption in soccer, their longtime president faces re-election. We'll show you if he won. John?
Here across Central Virginia, another look at the radar outside, just on the western half of the metro area and up into Spotsylvania County. A few thunderstorms out there and a lot of heat otherwise across the area. And remember, we're giving you chances to see Paul McCartney coming up just a couple of weeks at the JPJ in Charlottesville. You want to win some tickets? Well, what you have to do is be watching Good Morning Richmond between 6 and 7 a.m. When we tell you to call, you could be the winner.
Thank you, John. You are watching 8 News at 5, covering the news where you live on this Friday.
Some clouds moving across the area this Friday evening from King and Queen County to Colonial Heights. Stay with us. 8 News at 5 returns in a moment.
Welcome back. More fuel to the fire in the ongoing soccer scandal. Today, FIFA's president was elected to his 5th term. This is all despite allegations that some of the top executives working under him took millions of dollars in bribes.
$150 million in bribes, and those executives are in custody while FIFA President Sepp Blatter tries to distance himself from those allegations. He's promising this will be a turning point for world soccer. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez has the story.
A controversial deja vu in leadership for FIFA. Despite the scandal surrounding World Soccer's governing body, today the organization's president was re-elected.
Let's go, FIFA. Let's go, FIFA. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sepp Blatter, who was not among the FIFA executives indicted on federal corruption charges this week, winning out over Prince Ali of Jordan, who withdrew before the contest went to a second vote. Blatter promising to overcome the scandal to restore FIFA's reputation.
I take the responsibility to bring back FIFA. I'm not perfect. Nobody is perfect. But we will do a good job together, I'm sure.
The vote happening after a bomb threat led to the temporary evacuation of one part of today's FIFA conference in Zurich, Switzerland.
The premises have been cleared now.
And as demonstrators gathered outside, protesting against Blatter, who some feel should take at least part of the blame for the years of corruption under his watch. He's run the organization for 17 years, nearly the entire time the FBI and Justice Department say FIFA executives took more than $150 million in bribes, which they claim determined in part where World Cups would be held. And after Blatter's victory was announced, some of the delegates walked out, one of them saying FIFA is a mafia. And all of this could cost FIFA, with some of its biggest sponsors saying they may reassess their relationship with the organization. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, New York.
We move now to some trouble in the skies. Pilots of 5 commercial planes say they were hit by lasers while flying over New York City late yesterday. Fortunately, nobody was hurt, but aviation experts say the consequences of blinding a pilot while in the cockpit could be catastrophic.
You wouldn't think of a little green laser as having the power to bring down an airplane full of people, but if you get the eyes of the pilots flash blinded at the wrong moment, and you could end up killing 400 people.
That beam was traced to a state park on Long Island. Police there are searching the grounds. They haven't made any arrests just yet, though. Pointing a laser at planes in the air is a federal crime, and the person responsible for this incident could face 5 years in prison. Could Donald Trump finally be running for president? It certainly seems that way. The real estate mogul will make a major announcement June 16th in New York. He then heads to the early primary state of New Hampshire the very next day. A source close to Trump would not give any details of the announcement, but Trump has hired staff in New Hampshire and other early voting states. He's also unveiled a New Hampshire leadership team. Trump has flirted with running for president before, but has yet to make any kind of formal plunge. We'll see in a few weeks.
More flooding overnight in Texas and Oklahoma. 24 more counties declared disaster areas. Floodwaters are still crippling Dallas. This morning, a police officer there directing traffic had to be rescued from rising waters by helicopter.
That is rising water coming very fast, very hard, and there is nothing that we can do to stop that other than stay out of its way.
Weather there is now blamed for 21 dead in Texas and another 4 in Oklahoma. 9,000 miles away in India, a deadly heat wave now claims 1,800 lives. The Indian government's warning people not to go outside between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m., but many are impoverished and have to. Starving's the only other alternative. Temperatures there have been soaring above 110 degrees since mid-May. Asphalt streets are just melting.
And here at home, they have had a spike in temperatures, nothing like that in India, fortunately.
No, that's just brutal.
They had some places in India that touched 50 degrees Celsius. That's 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah. In fact, New Delhi today, 109, but their overnight low temperature was 86 degrees, warmer than what it is outside here right now.
Ridiculous.
And that's what really creates a lot of problems. Notice the temperatures, they kind of vary all over the place. The cool spots are where we've seen the showers and thunderstorms so far this afternoon, or the outflow from them. For example, Farmville, that's only 77, but it's 72 degrees in Hanover County Airport. Here are the showers right now in Hanover County Airport, just east. It's not raining there, but they're getting the cooler air coming out from these systems that are over us here in the metro area from Lakeside off to the north. These guys are all starting to weaken down a little bit. Big storm is up here. We do have that severe thunderstorm warning for Spotsylvania County along I-95 north as we head up towards Fredericksburg. We've got a pretty good shower going on there. And this one's actually drifting kind of down to the southeast, maybe about 15 to 20 miles an hour. So it's about to get to Old Trap. Eventually we get to Bowling Green if it continues to plug along in this direction just before 6 p.m. Don't look for it to be a huge storm. What these do is these guys are raining themselves out and then spawning other thunderstorms a little bit away from them. But that's really the strongest one in the area right now. Another one back around the Charlottesville region. And a lot of this is just really falling apart. There's not much rain right through there. But here are the showers. You see them all lifting more towards the north with kind of a little drift towards the northwest. We started off with the sunshine today. Here are the clouds brewing up, and then the afternoon thunder boomers for us as we continue with those southwesterly winds across the area. More big storms firing up over the plains, but they're now a little further to the east today. But there'll be some problems. Missouri, Oklahoma, and into Arkansas. Tonight's temperatures head down into the upper 60s for us once again, so we'll have an isolated shower early this evening, around 80 degrees at 8 p.m. And the clouds break overnight down to 68. During the day tomorrow, it's kind of the same story, but the risk of rain continues to inch back off to the west. So we're looking at a high temperature about 89 degrees for us. You can see when you wake up tomorrow morning, mixture of sunshine and cloudiness, then things kind of break down. It's kind of a quiet Saturday over the area. And then what we'll do is we will take you into Sunday across the region. Wake up Sunday morning at 7 a.m. We look pretty good over the area. And then as we head into Sunday afternoon, more storms starting to develop to the northwest of us. This as a cold front drops down in our direction. That cold front, well, after the temperatures on Sunday in the upper 80s once again, will set the stage to start June off with some pretty good thunderstorms over the area. So 89 degrees tomorrow, 90 on Sunday. I think we'll hold off showers and thunderstorms till Sunday evening for many of us, but kind of a stormy day on Monday, soggy on Tuesday with cooler temperatures, and then we look for pleasant weather as we head towards Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Next Saturday, the Stone Soul Music Festival out at RIR.
Oh, look who's keeping up with the Stone Soul. Good job, JB. Thank you. Today we honored the area's top high school students in a time-honored 8 News tradition. 2015's top of the class is at Kings Dominion, still ahead.
And remember, you can become a part of 8 News anytime you see something happening in your neighborhood. You can send your photos, your videos, your story ideas to iReport8@WRIC.com. If you'd rather give us a call, we want to hear from you that way too. The hotline number is 330-8000. Stay with us. We're back in just a moment.
Welcome back. You check the calendar today. It's 5/29, and today is 5/29 College Savings Day. 5/29 is, of course, tax-advantaged college savings plans sponsored by states. Promotions are going on for 5/29 plans across the country. A number of hospitals are giving babies born today $529 to start their 5/29 accounts. Everyone here in Virginia who opens a 5/29 in the month of May will be eligible to win a $10,000 prize.
Because you know what? You go to college and it happens before you even know it. Those years go by.
Every week we do a story about tuition jumping up, jumping up, jumping up. It's good to get in on the bottom.
It does. And of course, every year 8 News honors Central Virginia's strongest scholars with a day of fun at Kings Dominion. You have to have some fun too.
They are the top of the class. We're very proud to be with them every year. Here's 8 News meteorologist Matt DiNardo.
That's right. This is the graduating class of 2015, the salutatorians and valedictorians of many area high schools. Over 70 kids here today at Kings Dominion. And this is once again top of the class, where we get to honor all of these students. They receive certificates, and they're kind of getting that pre-walk down the aisle to see where they're going next. We'll get an inside look at some of these students over the next couple of months. Right here on 8 News, you'll see different commercials featuring and highlighting each one of them with our different anchors. And then after that, they get an entire day right here at Kings Dominion. It's a great time. It's a sunny day and humid. Back to you in the studio.
These kids are having such a great time out there.
Yeah, it really is cool. And what's cool also is to see the people who are at Kings Dominion from here on the area who recognize what's going on, and they're watching, you know, the kids graduating this year, doing the little commercials and stuff. And the best part for the kids, though, honestly, is if you're in the best of the class, when you go to Kings Dominion with us, we stop the line and
Very
go to the
nice.
front. We go ahead of everybody. It's awesome.
You can ride the roller coasters as many times as you want to.
Pretty much. Good stuff.
Good stuff. And here's some good stuff. Our keyword of the day, it is Hanover. You know where Kings Dominion is,
right?
You know? Enter Hanover at rewards.wric.com. You can earn 2,500 points to play games or win prizes. Stay with us. We'll be right back.